All right, guys. So the next tournament team we're going to be discussing is going to be Kentucky, currently sitting at 23-8, 13-5 in the SEC, 14-4 at home, coming off a really huge win today versus Tennessee. They've won 5 in a row. Kentucky's rolling, and I think they might be a legitimate Final Four threat. But let's go ahead and look at their schedule a little bit. They really don't have any bad losses. I'm really not entirely sure they have lost anybody that's not going to be in the tournament. There's some that are iffy, but let's get to it. All right, first off, you got a loss to Kansas. All right, 5-point loss to Kansas. Kansas does not look very good right now, I'll be honest with you. But Kentucky kind of started slow out of the gates this year. Took them a while to find their footing. And Kansas is not the only loss that's kind of questionable to me. Kansas is a good team, though, so I'm not going to knock them too much for that. But Kansas has not looked very good as of late. But still, that's a tournament loss to a top 4 seed, so that's not a bad loss at all. All right, their only really super questionable loss is this one right here. All right, UNC Wilmington. While UNC Wilmington is a tournament team, all right, I think they're like 23-9 right now. Kentucky shouldn't be losing to UNC Wilmington, at least outside of the tournament. Definitely shouldn't be happening. But that's one of their only questionable losses to me. There's 2 of them in particular, but that's one of them. But they didn't get blown out, so that's at least promising. But you have a win over North Carolina. That is huge. North Carolina probably the other number 1 seed right now at the moment in the West. Now that Kentucky kind of knocked Tennessee out of that spot. So really impressive there. You've got a win over Florida. That's a tournament team. Their only loss to another maybe not tournament team is Texas A&M. All right, and you kept it close. All right, A&M is on that bubble. I have them in probably right now. They've looked pretty good as of late, but that's one of their more questionable losses. You got a win over Mississippi State. They're a tournament team right now. You've got a loss to South Carolina. All right, probably one of their biggest losses margin-wise. South Carolina is a tournament team, though, top 4 seed, so not a bad loss by any means. You got a close loss to Florida, which is also a tournament team. All right, Tennessee, all right, you lost by 11, but they scored 103 points. All right, that's a little disturbing if you're Kentucky. You want to be able to play a little better defense than that. But still, lost to a 2 seed, maybe a 1 seed, depending on the end of the year. I've got a close loss to Gonzaga. Gonzaga is a tournament team, no doubt. Not a bad loss there. All right, but it was at home. You want to win those games. You got a win over Auburn. That's a tournament win. Now, probably their worst loss right here, LSU by 1. LSU's not anywhere close to the tournament right now, and so you probably want to win that one. But huge win over Alabama, scoring almost 120 points. This just shows you what Kentucky's capable of, and really why I think they have a chance at making a Final Four run, because they can fill it up anytime, any moment. They can score over 100 any night, if everything goes right. And Alabama does play up pace, but Kentucky's just fine with that. All right, they can score 100, like I said. All right, then you got them breaking 100 again against Arkansas, and then they're putting 90 and 80 every game since. All right, they've won 5 in a row, especially with the win today over Tennessee. That's huge. Kentucky looks like a legitimate threat to me. They started off really slow, but depending on what their draw is going to be, I think this team is capable of making the Final Four run this year. They're talented enough. They've got enough shot makers that they can fill it up with their main 3 guys, Reeves, Sheppard. They can fill it up, and I think Kentucky, with the right draw, can make a Final Four run and is talented enough. But also, don't be shocked, completely shocked, if they get dipped in the first weekend. Could happen, probably not the first weekend, but potentially the second one. Now, first weekend, as of right now, Kentucky's probably on that 3-4 line somewhere. Now, depending on the draw they get, if they get a bad draw, it is possible they could get dipped in the first weekend, but that's anybody. But talent-wise, though, this team is capable of making a Final Four run, I think. But that is my thoughts on Kentucky at the moment. Let me know yours. What do you think this team's capable of in the NCAA tournament? Is this a championship caliber team, Final Four team, second weekend team, or are they getting dipped in the first weekend? Let me know. Comment down below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe.